First of all, sorry, this is only an audio track now, but you will see some gameplay that I recorded on the last PTB. Welcome to this recap of the PTB. I will go through every single major change again, and then we will talk about how this actually could be good or bad and what I hope will be the outcome of the PTB changes now. So first of all, starting on the finishing Mori. Honestly, I think if the finishing Mori on paper sounds like a good idea. In reality, however, it probably is a big problem because the Mori still will not be used by people that won't use the Mori. And people who will use Moris at the moment won't use them in the future anymore because it's simply not possible except you bring Rancor or Devour Hope. And even Rancor allows you only to kill the Obsession in endgame, so to kill multiple people you actually have to turn around several times and have Nemesis and some other perks. Also the Blood Point reward is kinda cheap, 10,000, 20,000 and 30,000 blood points for a Mori. That's not really a good point. If you bring a Bloody Party streamer and you get a somewhat decent game, or even a survivor pudding, you get more blood points than for that Mori. It just doesn't seem like a good fit. Teamwork, power of 2 and collective stealth. At least in my bubble, nobody actually paid big attention to it. I guess they are fine the way they are, but honestly, they are not that big of a deal, I guess. They should be okay on the long run even. Corrective action had a shitload going on and we saw chance being done in 15 seconds. I'm pretty sure this will not go live. If it does go live, I'm pretty sure somebody at Behavior lost their mind. Inner focus change, yeah, seems fine. We are gonna live forever, poised, blood rush, quick gambit, I do in one. Not much to say. They stay pretty much the same that I already thought. Distortion is like better now in terms of the current state, but with Sunshine Tactics and Predator reworked, I honestly doubt that this will be good. But we need to see more data on the long run. At the moment, at the PTB, it felt like Distortion wasn't really useful anymore in total because everybody tested the new perks, so we need to see what happens if everybody plays normal builds. Lucky Star. Yeah, well, I'm glad that perk got nerfed. It was so strong, everybody played it, Kappa. Killer perks. Genetic limits and leverage seem fine. They seem stronger than before, which is good, I guess. The only thing that I would like to know is if genetic limit blocks overcome or not. I couldn't test it because I had no volunteer on this PTB this time, I'm sorry. But overall, it seems good. Twag and machine learning. Twag seems really good now. I really enjoyed playing the new version. Machine learning I didn't test, so still, I mean it's the same power, it just triggers easier. So yeah, it's still useless I guess. Deathbound seems good. Sentient Tactics and they're the hot T-stars. Sentient Tactics is a big problem at the moment I guess. So Windows of Opportunity and Sunshine Tactics are like the ultimate beginner perks. You see windows, you see pallets, you see every possible location around the loop that's important for you as a survivor and as a killer. And yeah, true, while as a killer you sometimes, or with some time in the game, you actually learn how to detect where pallets are and where windows are and what was used already by survivors, because you usually attend a chase as the killer and you usually know which pellets are dropped or even kicked by you. For beginners, Sunshine Tactics was actually pretty good. And I also saw some very experienced players, I know for example a Clown main that still used Sunshine Tactics for a lot of very successful plays. Losing that perk and giving it a new ability basically, I feel bad for it, because Sunshine Tactics in the past was like a super beginner friendly perk that everybody needed at some point, including myself. But at the same time now it's taken away and that's not good. We have over 200 perks, not every perk need to be high meta, you know? It's fine to have some perks for beginners or for fun only, looking at Red Herring. It just is weird that Sunshine Tactics now has this weird ability. Deadman Switch seems fine, honestly the change. It's a nerf, obviously, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Blood Echo seems also fine. Hex crowd control is fucking overpowered if this goes live. Same as corrective action. I honestly think that somebody at Behavior lost their mind. Predator, on its own, if you don't rework Sunshine Tactics, should be fine. I guess that's a pretty neat perk. And then we are already at Skull Merchant. And Skull Merchant is... So Skull Merchant pretty much got butchered. And I want to explain a little thing here. So Skull Merchant is not dead on itself, but the old playstyle definitely is dead. That means Skull Merchant can still be played, but a lot more proactive and a lot different compared to what it used to be right now. To be honest, it breaks the killer's feeling and the killer's purpose completely. She feels like a cheap stealth killer now and not like a map controlling quote-unquote mastermind that just cleans up after the drones at the beginning of the work, you know. The drones need a lot of manual control now. Even though they are technically quote-unquote stronger because they are always active, that also means that the scan lines are always visible to survivors. And therefore, honestly, I think this is not a good shape. Also, I want to keep in mind that Behavior promised that there will be another quote-unquote rework on Skull Merchant in like 8 to 10 months. And they will keep looking into it and her. The thing is, we had this promise on Unreal over a year ago. We had this promise on Trickster 10 months ago. We had this promise on Freddy about 5 years ago. And some others too. These were just the first 3 that came to my mind. And while some Unreal mains, for example, now say she's fine, and maybe some even say she's the best she's ever been, and some are really unhappy about her, Behavior never again made a comment on her. What I'm complaining about is not that Behavior is not changing things, but they are not communicating it. If, for example, they see now in the data that Unreal is fine, then they could make a statement like, hey, we promised we look into this further, but we noticed Unreal is fine, we don't need to tweak her further, stats look good, we keep her that way. That never happened. The last official statement was we keep looking into her. Tricks are the same. In December 2023 they said we look into him. We have now September and nothing happened. The rework was in November, that's why I said 10 months. So all of that stuff happening is like an empty promise from Behavior towards the fan base of a certain killer. And that's my big deal on it. If they notice the stats are fine and they would comment it, maybe they would clean up some stuff. Honestly, though, I think the stats on Trickster and Freddy are not good. I honestly would not believe if they make a statement about Trickster and Freddy saying the stats are good, we don't need to change them. On Unreal it might work because the Unreal community is rather split. On Trickster and Freddy it looks different. After that we still have Hillbilly, Twins and the Unknown. Hillbilly and Twins I didn't test, so I can't comment on that. I'm sorry. I still think that the Billy nerf is a little bit too much. And I also think the Twins nerf is not really needed. But I also heard from a Twins main, I forgot the name, I'm sorry. But I heard from a Twins main that the nerf seems justified. Because current Twins are overperforming if you main them and you know what you're doing. As I'm not a Twins main, I can't judge on that. I barely can handle Victor, as you heard in my Killer Fun tier list, links in the description. So yeah, Unknown. Unknown is okay, I guess. The nerf on the movement speed seems weird. Other than that, the whole quality of life stuff with seeing the cooldown and seeing everything preparing and shit, that's really amazing. I want to keep that. As mentioned, the movement speed nerf, that's basically the payoff for the other buffs, quote unquote, for seeing all that stuff visible. That's okay, I guess. That's it basically for this PTB. I honestly hope that the stuff that's really bad, so like corrective action, Skull Merchant, Sunshine Tactics, are not going through. And the good stuff is coming through. But I guess we will see it in a few weeks when the actual mid-chapter patch goes live, so let's have a look. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe, and as always, see you next time.